Good morning. My name is Philip. I'm 29 and I work as a software engineer in Stockholm. Moved here recently after graduating university, new city, new me, and I'm trying to figure out life here, not and in general. So I started waking up early. Before gym, I started journaling, writing my thoughts, meditating, try and figure out stuff. And all of this really, if I'm being honest, stems from um, not knowing what to do about a girl I care about. So that's where all things start, right? But I don't know if I should be with this girl or not. Broke up with her, and so now we're here, and I still care about her. But I don't know if she's the one for me. So I've gone on a spiritual journey through uni, and still going through it now. Who I am, what I want to do, who I want to be, what's truth, what's not true. Like I say I used to be a Christian. I am a Christian, but I used to be a very religious Christian, and now I am less so. I party, I drink, I do those kinds of stuff. I try to have a nuanced stance on religion and faith and Christianity, and at the same time sort of wholeheartedly believing what the Bible says. And it's kind of it's a tricky thing when the Bible says you shouldn't do these things and you do these things and they make you happy and make you happier than what Christianity did. And you're trying to not let go of Christianity because you perceive it as good and true, but at the same time, it's not like a fit. It's not a good fit for you, kind of. That's what I'm feeling. But I have been moving away from church as I was going through uni. No indoctrination or anything like that. Like the right wingers will say, like, oh, they indoctrinate you and stuff. I went to a technical university, software dev. There's not much politics there, at least not here. But I did enjoy my university life and partying and stuff like that a lot. And it made me a lot happier and a lot more fulfilled to focus on work and the gym and social gatherings and entertainment and stuff than when I was at church and all I had was church and my church friends and stuff like that. And I really don't want this to be like a bashing on church. It's really not. I think church is great and Christianity is great. And that's why I'm in this spot where I'm like, I believe Christianity to be true. And I want it to be true. And I want to be in that space because I want my children to be in that space. Because I believe it makes me a better man. But I want to do fleeting things like party and do things like this. Not like all the time, but once in a while. And pursue the things that make an impact physically right now, like money and status and fame and girls, all that. Having more of that makes, I've noticed, a positive impact in my life, at least in the moment. Maybe you could say that in the future that's not the case. And that could be true. That's probably true. When you get old and whatever, you're not gonna have these things anyway. You're not gonna be able to enjoy them. But right now, that's what I want, I think. And looking at it through a church lens, you'd go like, oh, it's mammon. It's like greed and it's, of course it feels good. It's sin and it's like these things. Maybe you'd be right. Maybe I'm just terribly, terribly lost, but I don't feel it that way. I do feel it that way sometimes when I really scrutinize myself through the Christian lens. That's why I initially said I used to be a Christian. because my Christian friends would probably say about me, no, you're not a Christian. Because I'm not living like one. So anyway, I'm doing this because I want something tangible, I guess more than journaling, where I speak and I maybe eventually gather some kind of following. I want to be more comfortable talking in front of a camera, practicing these things, just doing something extra, something different, something public. Eventually, this probably won't be public, but eventually I'll do something public. And yeah, just documenting my journey a little bit. Seeing if I can find my way back to church, back to Jesus. Seeing if that life is no longer for me. Because since I have been away from it, of course, it's gonna feel alien to some degree. But if I familiarize myself with it again, maybe I'll learn to, maybe I'll awaken that part of me again. So I would like to try that. It is one of the reasons why I broke up with a girl I claim to love. So I'll see if I can reawaken my Christianity, sort of. Maybe I'll go back to the exact same way I was thinking. I don't think I can, but I'll try. If not, then maybe I'll find some balance between the two. And if I don't, then I would have to somewhat abandon that part of me and acknowledge that it's not for me. Which I feel like would mean two things. Either Christianity is not true, or I simply am not saved. Because if those things were true, then I can't see how church would not be where I should be, and I could not see how the spiritual Christian life would be something I would enjoy. So we'll see. This is not a fun place to be, but life has been getting better for me as the years have gone. Past 25, after uni and stuff. And I'm doing great, so we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But I want to make a little video, maybe every day. Probably every day. I want to try to do it every day. Just have a little update for myself, and maybe eventually some kind of following to make it imperfect. Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I'm talking way too much now. If I were to let my perfectionist take over, I would redo this recording. But creating things that are imperfect needs to happen for me to be able to make progress in a lot of areas in life. I can't be perfect when trying something for the first time. I can't be perfect when trying to perform music for the first time, or doing anything for the first time. It has to be imperfect. And so that's what this is. This is, as well as a journal and a documentation, it's also me being comfortable in front of a camera, but also me doing something that's not perfect. That's just incredibly imperfect and probably a bit dull to look at. But over time, maybe I'll look back at it and be happy I started. And maybe I'll be doing great with editing and special effects and cinematic shots, and not have, this at my fucking kitchen table looking at me from this angle, right? I should be doing be centered and stuff. Anyway, that's the first imperfect thing that I'm gonna do today. And maybe I'll do more imperfect things every day. Anywho, thanks for watching. See you.